I've been turning away from a truth I wanted not to face. There is a wound that won't heal at the center of the galaxy. There is a darkness reaching like rust into everything around us. The Empire is a disease that thrives in darkness. It is never more alive than when we sleep. It's easy for the dead to tell you to fight. And maybe it's true. Maybe fighting's useless. Perhaps it's too late. But I'll tell you this. If I could do it again, I'd wake up early and be fighting these bastards from the start. Fight the Empire!
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Yeah, that did it. That's another appropriate way to get me like try to focus.
There you go.
And things that aren't that. Hi, everybody
everyone.
out there in YouTube land. My name is Rob, and I have a YouTube channel called Smirking Gun, and this is Darrin Jakes. He's got a channel called D's Reviews, and we, for a while now, have been making other videos here on the Outer Rim because of the state of our world, the state of our country, the state of our fellow Americans, everything. When we started this about 14 weeks ago or so, it was like, okay, we're playing catch up and we're doing the thing and we want to have solutions, not just we want to welcome everybody and we were just too, I said this before, because we've tried to do this like 3 or 4 times now. The internet is either not working with us or schedules or whatever the hell's going on. And we've got this window of time when we're taking it. So I'm going to apologize right now for any of the like crazy way that maybe I sound today, because I am all over the place. Because every day I think we're all over the place. If you're able out there to somehow maintain complete focus and your life is perfect with all this shit going on around us, then I want the drugs you're on, because otherwise it doesn't naturally exist. Otherwise you might be a psychopath. We have lived through some crazy times, and since this cunt got elected, everybody's lives have been worse, including especially the people who fucking voted for him.
Yeah.
I've said this on other things that you haven't even seen before, but we're too late. We were too late to get into this to just be the Outer Rim and let's talk about how we're gonna like blah blah blah. We are buried up to our necks, and everywhere all I hear is we're cooked. We're cooked. What do we do? What do we do? We're still acting like everybody knows what to do. We're just too afraid to do it. But it's going to happen because you can't keep people going for this long without something snapping. I am just some asshole in Illinois with a 40-hour work week job and does this for a hobby. And all I want to do is walk away from my job, get up to Minneapolis and start punching the shit out of every motherfucker that fucking has an ice badge on. I am not left. I am not right. I am a progressive thinking person. Ever since I was young, things that I learned about our world, I have been preparing for this shit my whole fucking life. I just never thought I'd actually have to deal with it, because the things I was preparing for are made up. Just like a lot of the thoughts and the people on the other side of the fence of this, it's all made up. You believe in things that aren't real. And now here we are. Whether you believe in fucking God or Trump, it doesn't matter. Both of them are bullshit. Neither of them are going to save you. Neither. There have been thousands of years that the magical space wizard and his son could do something for you, but he won't. But you keep using it as an excuse. I said this was going to be how it is because my thoughts are just coming out one at a time as they pop into my fucking head. So I'm going to probably be pinballing all over the place because I don't know how to stop now.
Well, let me jump in for just a moment before you go. Yeah, this is, and the problem is those feelings, that frustration, that overload is exactly the plan of what is going on. These are administrative status officers that are invading a city. Right now, there are 3,000 ICE officers that got sent to Minneapolis. Their police force is only 600 people, a 5-to-1 ratio of federal officers whose only jurisdiction is if you are an unlawful, undocumented alien. If you are not a citizen, then they have jurisdiction. That is it. That is the extent. They don't even have criminal warrants they issue. They're not police. And yet, it doesn't matter because they have guns. And they are doing as much as they can to elicit that type of, I want to go up there and start punching ICE people in the face. That is what they want. And the fact that the citizens of Minneapolis who have been invaded by their own government have still managed to maintain a sense of self-control is, I mean, hats off to them. That is a phenomenal amount of self-control. It is a phenomenal amount of focus to not cross that line, to not give these fucking assholes, these Gestapo ICE Nazis, the excuse that they are looking for, and Trump the excuse to wage the insurrection act, which he is, constantly bringing up, and that's all that he wants. That'll give him the right to send troops in. He's got 1,500 troops out of Alaska from the 11th Division Airborne set up to go into Minneapolis if he is able to call it the Insurrection Act right now. Now, this is assuming that's not a ploy to actually send them into Greenland to go into that whole sense of craziness. These people are insane, and they're going to get us killed, folks. And it scares the freaking shit out of me.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm at. Like, it's because the fear works, but it's not. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
No, you're angry.
I don't fear any of these people. What I fear about this, it's not really. It's not a fear. It's because I already know. Like, it's just another thing to be angry about. Is we have all these people that work for us. That's the thing. There's so many things happening and so many reasons they're happening. He knows he's done. He's got less than probably 10 years of life left.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to put his mark like a fucking cat or a dog that just pisses for their territory. He's trying to make his mark as hard as possible to erase after he's dead. We're going to have to, and he thinks, because he knows he knows people like Trump know there's nothing after this. So he has nothing to go, I'm going to be looking down at my things. These people are smart enough to know that nothing exists after this. So all that matters is the damage they do to everything else. And that's what that honestly is how they sleep at night, is I'm going to everybody wants to leave their mark. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be important. Everybody wants to have something special. Everybody wants to be remembered forever. And we have had videos and we've had discussions about people who don't care whether their legacy is good or bad. He does not care if his name is brought up like Pol Pot or fucking Putin or fucking Hitler or Napoleon or any other motherfucker or Saddam Hussein or Muammar Gaddafi or the Ayatollah Khomeini. I am just popping off horrible people that I remember from history. And he does not care if his list of names is on there. It only matters that he destroys as much shit as fucking possible before he goes, to leave an indelible mark, because God forbid we live without this fat fucking piece of shit. I apologize to everyone with a obesity problem. When I get angry, words that I don't normally use come out. I'm surprised I haven't used the R word on accident, because it is in there locked and loaded sometimes.
Sure.
Because that's what I think it is. I don't mean any disrespect to any culture, race, gender, or state of being. But he is going to try to, it doesn't, like, he does not care about, like, what happens to any of us after he's dead. It is a race to get as much done and much damage and pay everyone back for this goddamn country that he lost in 2020. And the fact that he knows it, and everyone knows it, and that line that all of you fucking goddamn fascists keep pulling for this fat fuck. You better hope I die of something terrible that doesn't make me go fucking looking for some of you. Because that's what's going to happen if we don't. Because even if we lose, even if we lose and we lose everything, there's going to be people like me who don't fucking forget. And I will disappear into the fucking woodwork. And the only time you will ever see me is when somebody goes, something happened to somebody. Trump this is how you radicalize people. This is what you want? Yeah. Fine. But I'll tell you what. I also know not to throw the first punch. But you already threw the first punch, and you fired the first shot, and you killed people. And you keep acting like it's fine to kill us. There will be a point where people like me, who would never even think about hurting another individual, will fucking come for you. We will find you. All of us will find you. All you ICE agents, all you fuckers in the government right now, you might as well fucking retire and run. Run for your fucking lives. You might as well eat a bullet, because there will be people. Didn't you see the fucking movie Munich? Think about what those people did to kill a few people that were responsible for what happened at that airport. Do you think you're going to survive this? Do you think you're going to not have to look over your shoulder? Do you think South America has some of Hitler's old bungalows or other Nazi bungalows, you know, for all the Germans that ran away? Or are you just going to disappear into your ass bag Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk to hang out in their freaking desert bunkers where they, you know, nobody can get at them?
Of course they know. That's why they have the masks on.
And this is why they have to win. We have to win, or they have to win. There is the fundamental problem in this country is fucking religion. Run by politics and run by scumbag racists that have decided, and I've been working on this for way too fucking long. And again, because we keep fucking turning the other cheek. I don't follow Christ's fucking example. I don't have a cheek to turn. I don't have to fucking do shit. So you better fucking start coming for people like me. Because I will disappear. And I will only fucking show my face when I'm wanting to show my face. Because there's going to be people like me all over this country. This is why I didn't, you know, like, I'm so angry. And yeah, I'm sure that there would be people that watch this and go, ha, 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 we got him right where we want him. So angry. But I'll never do any of those things that I'm ranting and raving about. I want to, but I know that I won't. In the end, unless. Don't push us any further than you already have, because but the thing is it's empty words. It's empty. Like, it's gonna happen. It doesn't matter. And that's what makes me so angry. And all I hear is talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And at least the people in Minneapolis are doing something. But you want to know why the people in Minneapolis are doing something? Because they have no other fucking choice.
Yeah.
They have been finally backed up into a corner in their little state. And his little another test run, just like when he says things like, you know, I don't know, I might not have elections, and testing the waters for all this other shit. And since the entire world is afraid of a mob boss who's orange, I'm gonna, you know, it'd be a shame if I have to put 10% of tariffs on you guys in February. Oh, and then after that, it's 25%. That is fucking mob rules. It is against the law, and we should have every single person, anyone in government, anyone.
I think you blew out your mic, dude.
Yeah, I pressed the button. I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
There's a button on here. I pressed it, so I don't even know when it cut out. It's all illegal. Every single day, we keep putting up with illegal, unconstitutional things when all it would take is a few people in our own fucking government to grow a pair. If they can do all of this shit uncontested, then why don't we just start fucking doing things? I don't care. I can write anything I want. I'm the executive of my world. I'm going to write an executive order that says it's okay to arrest this motherfucker. Like, all of you
because
out there in government are useless. You're all useless. And I don't care if you're AOC or Bernie Sanders. I like you guys, but you're not doing shit. The blue governors want to know the first thing you can fucking do to save all of us? Stop complying. Don't let your police force take control of each state. Every state. Basically, what did we talk about? It's the not a complete civil war, but a where we stop giving money to the government. And what is that term?
I mean, I don't know.
When we, like, what's the thing that they call like a soft civil war, or like a soft breaking from the country? There's a term for it.
Secession.
Well, I think there's another word that we've used, but the governors need to stop cooperating.
Yeah, basically, yes.
No police helping at all. And our police and our National Guards, they say, well, they're automatically federalized by the government. Why? Because somebody says so? Because they say so? No, these are people that live here in our states. Our own governors, and those people should be making decisions for themselves. If you're part of the Minnesota National Guard and they try to call you up against your own people and you do it, you deserve to be put in jail for the rest of your fucking natural life. If you're an ICE agent, you deserve to be in jail for the rest of your natural life. If you're a Republican politician, you deserve to be in jail for the rest of your fucking life. If you're a Democrat politician, we need to go through some fucking real conversations with y'all, and maybe some of you guys need to be in jail for the rest of your fucking lives. It's not just Republican. We're at a point where we can't really live with each other. We can't. Do you really think we're going back to something where we can go, we have to figure out how to live? We can't. We can't. You can't put everything back in the box anymore. Pandora's box is open. All the racists came out. You're not going to be able to put them back in. And they're not going to just shut their mouths. Just because it's enough time goes by and sometimes people just shut the fuck up about things and move on to the next horrible thing. No. There is no living with each other anymore. And you either stop this nonsense, wake the fuck up, realize that both sides for all of us suck, and we need a whole new system. I don't care if it means we have to press pause on all government stuff. Hey, we went weeks with the government shutdown. Grocery stores still were open. Gas stations still worked. You could still go to the fucking movies. We need to stop all government, everything. There, except for like things that make the trains run on time and shit like that. If it has to do with federal stuff, because hey, who fucking cares, right? Don't we want to just get rid of more federal jobs anyway, like Doge says? Isn't there so much out there that we need to cut, that we even need a federal government? I mean, our federal government is barely working as it is. The only thing they're doing is trying to either do the things that cunt says or try to figure out, well, how do we talk them down from this, or how do we find the best soft way to do this? They're not doing anything to stop anything. The Democrats are sitting there quiet, like with their thumbs up their asses, waiting. But here's the thing. They only want power too. So even when we vote all these assholes out of Congress and Senate and things get turned over, all they're going to do is nothing again. I don't want anybody to think that they're going to do anything. All they're going to do is they're going to act like rolling back Trump's bullshit is enough. But it isn't enough. We all know this now. We all have been pushed to the limit. Economically, this is why. We've all been pushed too far. Healthcare, it needs to be over. This was a topic in the 90s. And the only reason, and I'm sure it was before the 90s, but as I was growing up, it was all I could hear about was like how the Clintons were going to solve health crisis, right? And they didn't do dick. Okay? They didn't do shit. And this is 30 years ago. And all the other decades. Prices. People in my area suddenly want to start jizzing in their pants because we've like fucking lowered prices on eggs at my store. Whoop-de shit. You want to know why? Because I got a good price. That's it. No politician made that price appear. No. The company made, and we're losing money. Okay? We're not getting any money from lowering the prices on this. They're so fucking desperate to get customers into the store that they'll do anything, including take a loss on eggs. And people will go, well, look at the price on eggs. Oh my God. It's like, it's slowly starting to happen. It's not happening. They chose to lower those prices on eggs and take a loss because people aren't shopping. I talked to everyone around. I talked to every vendor. I talked to guys that are coming from busy cities. And it's everywhere. And even if you go, well, I see all this traffic and I see all these people at the stores. It's still, the numbers don't lie. They're buying less. They're buying smarter. And they're driving all over the goddamn creation to 6 different stores to get all the little deals that they can get from every grocery store that's trying to get you to come in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's all because they got a price and they're taking losses. I have to hear this every day about losses, and we don't even care. We just need customers. Nothing has changed. Nothing has gotten better. Your gas prices went down. Whoop-de shit. These goddamn redneck, MAGA, red-pilled fuckfaces around here, they are so I think I'm preaching to everyone in the choir at this point. I don't think I should have to tell you the mental illness that is MAGA and how they can just turn their brains off for every little fucking thing. Because again, politics are sports to these fucking people.
It's all about their team.
Left. This is about your neighbor saw that you voted for Trump and they think you're an asshole. Well, I'll show those people that am I the asshole for voting against my own interests? They are willing to go down with the ship and still blame everybody else but themselves. It is the most delusional group of people we have ever. I have lived on this earth for over 50 years now, and I have never seen delusion like this except in religion. And all these people that wear their little fucking cross around their neck. Meanwhile, while they tear down every other member of society, because that's Christ-like. We've been rewriting Christ's values. A guy that I don't believe in, but I mean, I've read enough and I've lived it and I've grown up with it that I know what that possibly made up person said and did. and not one fucking thing is accurate. But when you don't know how to read, when you just need things to be a certain way in your brain, I mean, how that's the thing that's so frustrating, Darrin. Is that there really is no, like, as angry as I am, and as oh, he sounds threatening. He just threatened a bunch of. There are too many factors about what's going on. There are too many moving parts where even if we solve or we get rid of or we stop some things, we can't stop other things. It's the dam is exploded and we're all trying to keep the dam up. Instead of just at this point, maybe we should just back off and let it just fucking come down.
There's a reasonable argument for that. I mean, look, I don't want to see society.
And then in the crumbling, we make a move. We make our moves to but
I think the biggest frustration, I mean, for me, definitely what I'm hearing from you and what goes on with me with all of this is you're right. There is no real going back because we have exposed the errors and the problems within the system itself. Okay, we have all these checks and balances, but none of those mean anything if nobody is willing to do their fucking job, which is how you get a fascist dictator elected and in charge. And it's his people that have to enforce the law. There's an argument right now going on with the Epstein files, because it's over a month since the Epstein release was supposed to happen on the 19th of December. And they've left out like less than 1%, and then they've kind of stopped. And their argument is, well, there's no real enforcement to this. There's nothing like, if you don't do it, there's no real punishment written into the law. And it's like, again, it's this legal BS, that frustration with Congress. It's like, we have elected you to be the representatives, to be the bulwark, and to be the checks and balance. And they're like, well, we're the minority, so all we can do is just kind of complain. What the fuck is that? Okay, so we as a society try to believe in the rule of law. It's what evens the playing field, allows us a sense of freedom, of interaction, of understanding that everything applies to everybody else. You kill somebody, that's a bad thing. You steal from somebody, that's a bad thing. You do this, this is how the law works. And what they're doing right now is like, well, only if we want to enforce it. Only if we want to go after that. Yes, Jonathan Ross, and I will say his fucking name, the ICE agent that shot Renee Good, violation of Department of Justice policy, you don't shoot at a fleeing vehicle, even if your life is in danger, unless they have a weapon other than the vehicle. That is Department of Justice use of force guidelines. But he's not being investigated. Oh, he also walked in front of a vehicle, which you are not supposed to do. Bad policing. Oh, that's right. These aren't actual police officers. Federal law enforcement, yes, but not police officers. They're administrative agents.
I live in Minnesota. I live in this community. A guy who lives in the community murdered another member of the community.
And the fact that they said, well, he was hit by a car a couple of months before, it's like, well, then he obviously doesn't know how to do his job.
And he shouldn't be there if he's got PTSD.
Seriously. I mean, but no, there's no investigation. That what? No, they want to investigate the wife of the deceased.
Yeah, because she was outside the car, right? Like walking around, doing her thing, right? Saying basically nothing, just jabbing the guy a little bit because honestly,
it's not against the law, not a reason for violent reaction.
Apparently,
and that's also in policy.
But apparently, it's the price of making fun of an ICE agent is your wife gets shot 3 times in the face.
Yeah.
And then you get to be called a fucking bitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they'll investigate you.
That part is the one that sent me over the edge.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
honestly, if I had been there, Darrin, I'd be in jail or dead.
Well, honestly, I am amazed constantly
That I'm not in jail. Yeah.
that there hasn't honestly but just been more swarms of people and over these ICE agents. But again, they're armed to bear.
Yeah.
They got bulletproof vests and they've got tactical gear and they've got an M16s with suppressors on them. And it's like, geez, all you guys are supposed to be able to do is like, are you a citizen or not? And then you arrest the non-citizens. You're not yanking people out of cars. You're not pulling people over. You're not invading fucking people's houses. But the only people that are supposed to enforce those laws that they're breaking are them. So what the hell are you supposed to do? And so why should we trust a government? Why should we act on the level that laws are universal? Or is it just down to because they have the guns?
Yeah.
They can do what they want because they have the guns.
Yeah.
In which case, that's not a law.
Risk anything.
There's no laws there. That's just caveman bash you overhead.
Yeah. We can't let the caveman win. All right. These people might not believe in evolution, but I'm sure that you got the caveman, right?
Certainly act for de-evolution.
They can't evolve. It's not their fault. They just are. And then the next level. Can you imagine the people that evolved from the caveman and the cavemen were like, they saw the writing on the wall of like, these are the last cavemen. And how freaked out. I guarantee you the cavemen were the ones probably instigating fights against the evolved humans. Why? Because they were scared and they knew they were on the way out. You want to talk about replacement theory? Don't be worried. Jews aren't coming to replace you. Evolution is.
Well, yeah, that's the force.
Okay.
None of you are fighting back against.
Finally start to break out of their things and start realizing things about sexuality and gender and all these things, it's called progress and evolving as people to get to the next steps of human accomplishment. Not walking it back so that Jesus can save us all. When it's all bullshit. It's just, I'm poor, I'm uneducated, it's the fault of the system, and so I have to take all the things that I didn't get in this system that I choose. I'm going to be mad that the people that actually go and work for those things that I don't want to do, I'm going to take it out on them. I'm going to take it out on everyone that isn't me rather than take responsibility for the fucking choices I make. If you're in a red state and you keep voting for someone who never does anything, but the only reason you vote for him is because he's not blue, he's not a woman, he's not a white guy with Christian values, then keep expecting to get nothing in return, because it's as empty as the fucking Bible you read. It ain't meaning nothing, man. There's just some fancy fucking words and a few fucking phrases that actually might apply to regular fucking life and how to be as a regular ass person. Otherwise, that thing, I wipe my ass with it. But you guys got to keep believing, right? Why? Because you have never fucking had anyone tell you anything different. You don't listen, even, and you guys have the worst infrastructures, the worst crime, but we don't think the same way, so fuck the rest of us.
No, they're fucked for the reasons a society requires balance in itself. Most of those states, and I think most of the push that we have for these fascist people, is the use of government in order to amplify business and to push their own private ends. One of the reasons, apparently, that Mississippi, Alabama, I think it's Mississippi, was so poor is post-Reconstruction, They decided to not pay their bills, and thus were stuck paying off interest and fighting things for years and years. They weren't able to get investments into them. Why? Because they wanted to push everything to the private sector and nothing from the government. I believe government is important. I believe government has to be the balance to business. Its job is to protect the citizenry from enemies, foreign and domestic. And that includes capitalists that will take advantage of every possibility that they can to gather as much as they can.
Yeah.
To me, government needs to be the balance for that. Government doesn't have to work at a profit. The government can work as a loss because it's there to invest in society, to invest in education, in roads, in infrastructure, the things that allow the society to exist. The problems that you have in a lot of these red states is they don't believe in government's ability to do things. It's the private sector. And you know what the private sector will do? Fuck you over for money. That's its job. That literally is, they have a fiduciary duty to maximize profits at the expense of everything else. And that's just for this quarter. If it's profitable for them to burn down their building and up their income for this quarter, they are legally obligated to do that, which is fucking insane. But you need a balance to that type of uncontrolled obsessiveness, because otherwise it will gut its own foundation. You have to invest in education. You have to have an educated populace in order to actually be able to vote in a democracy. They don't have any knowledge. If they have no time to actually look into this, then that democracy is going to fall. And all that we have done is fuck up education for the past 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
To the
And
point
everything.
that,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say to the point that, and very true, at a school trip that I was blessed to do at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and get a tour by actual rocket scientists, we got to talk about the education system for a minute because, of course, it's a school trip. And they had to admit they can't help their kids with their math homework because the new math system is all rubrics and approximations and estimates and things like this. And if literal rocket scientists can't do elementary math homework, there are some serious fucking problems going on with that system. It's the system itself needs to be. It's like how COVID gave us all a breath to look at our jobs and go, why the fuck are we running around all the time? Why do we spend hours commuting and losing our families and obsessively working for this thing that gives nothing back to us? I mean, yeah, we get paid less and less for bills that get more and more. But most people realized at that point they had just enough of a break, just enough of a breath to realize the hamster wheel that they've been running in. And this nightmare is in many ways the same thing. To look and go, look, none of this system is working. We're all broke. But I know financial advisors have had the best year they've ever had. You have stocks? Man, you are living life. If you don't, you can't afford your rent or food. And how is that going to sustain itself? Where does that go? Go back to a slightly less suffocating version of this? No. It all has to change. And I mean, and it terrifies me because that is never pretty.
No.
But I don't, you're right. I don't see how they can back off.
There's no backing off either way. We don't have the politicians that will protect anything. You got people just standing there, you know, the ones that are actually on our side, they're fucking eunuchs. They can't do shit. They sit there, and the other part is like how much political theater we got going on, where these people are friends. People that you wouldn't expect to be friends are friends.
I can't healthily disagree with fucking Nazi. Right? Okay.
Yeah, but it's like when I'm at work, man, and there's that one person, and I'm supposed to like, and this is the thing that I always have a hard time with is like, well, come on, man, just like go along to get along, man. You know, we got to do it. And I'm like, but I can't stand that person. Why would I? But you can't, in a society, you have to sometimes just swallow it and work with someone. I can work with anyone as long as they do their job and mind their P's and Q's around me. Like, don't antagonize me, and we're good.
Right.
So I can work with just about anybody. But what we have here, we can't work with this. We can't work with these people. They don't do anything. They go to their job. Like, what do they do when they go there? So many, like, when I think about like how many times they, you know, like people that, oh, I missed the vote. Oh, I didn't read the bill. Oh, what the fuck? That's your one job, man.
One job.
Very, very few jobs that you actually have to do. We pay for your lunch, your breakfast, your dinner, your houses, your cars, your little fucking trips everywhere. We pay for all of it. And
your health care.
Yeah, and you can't, what? You keep making excuses for everything we want because everything we want is connected to some other asshole who doesn't want to give it to us because they would make less money. Then it all has to stop. It has to go away and let the dam burst. Honestly, I don't see us any way out than pure chaos at this point. And then how do we rein it in? Can you rein it in? Will the rest of the world have to come here and fucking literally stop us?
Gonna need UN troops
using the word us.
No,
because I mean, I think most of the world knows. I mean, I feel like, you know how Israel, you know, the people in Israel like to act like Hamas is like the terrorists like to put innocent people in front of them, surround them with things so that you won't do anything to them. But we just surround ourselves by this, and that's why they started bombing the shit out of everything, and all these civilians were going because they're entwined, right? They're so entwined that we can't tell the difference. It's the same fucking thing here now. The only time we know is when they wear their fucking their what would they call it? Flare. When they wear their flare, that's when we know who they are, or when they talk.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time you walk around and you don't even know. Everywhere I go, can I talk to that person? I don't know. I don't know how crazy they are. Thank God some of them wear their flare, so I go, well, I know I never have to talk to that person.
It's helpful, yeah.
But guess what? Around here, the flare's gone away. So they're trying already to be like the Nazis who just scramble back into the woodwork. Never to return.
Yeah. But we used to think that, with Trump here, at least we'll know who the racists and Nazis are. And then they came out and we're like, oh shit, there's a lot of them. We didn't know there were that many.
Yeah.
We hoped.
But as I've been saying for fucking years, when your enemy tells you we will rise again,
believe them.
I took that shit seriously when I was a kid. I was raised, to all of you that don't know, sorry, Darrin, for having to regale you with my life story.
No, go right ahead.
But since I grew up in a cult, I know what a cult looks like, sounds like, smells like. I know how everybody talks and bitches behind each other's back and scratches each other's eyes out behind each other's backs and are always trying to get ahead of all the other people. This is in a religion. We're all supposed to love each other and hold each other and bring the embrace of the Lord and take us all to the heavenly kingdom we reserve, right? All they get off on is making other people look like shit. I'm good. You're not. It is a rat ship. They are all rat ships. And like all rat ships, eventually they all turn on each other. Cults don't last, but the damage they do does.
Mm.
And the damage here is these people have had decades of not, they've already lived their whole lives being indoctrinated by religion. They've been told all manner of stupid fucking shit to keep them where they want them. Religion is a crutch, folks. Believe in each other. Believe in the things, because everything we've done, all these things that we have, we did. God didn't put this house over my head. This roof was built by a person who decided to build it and then have people, would you like to live in this place? God didn't do that. God didn't
And
tell
all
that
kinds of people.
They did it to make some money, but also because it serves a need, an actual need. Okay? If you think that religion, if you need it so bad, if your life is so spun out that you don't know what to do but just grasp on to Jesus, do it quietly and shut the fuck up and leave the rest of us alone. Because that is the one thing that I will say that I will fight for, no matter what. I will always fight religion. And if I need to do a literal fight against religion eventually, I am more than ready for it. And I've been preparing for this kind of crap my whole life.
Mute.
Second. Am I back?
You're back. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
You're overloading the computer, man.
Anyway, because that just threw me off now. Maybe it's good that I got thrown off.
Yeah.
But if you're one of those people that needs religion, or you'll just fly off untethered to everything, there are some people that really do benefit from it. But you want to know something? Those people are mentally ill. Those people need it because they're mentally ill in some fashion. Not all mental illness means blah, 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 blah. Everybody wants something to hold on to. But if the thing that you're holding on to is causing other people pain,
well,
then your thing doesn't, it's not good. If your boss tells you to shoot somebody, do you really stay at that job? I'm just giving an extreme example, right? If your boss tells you something that you know to be morally wrong and you do it anyway because you're afraid to lose your job, you should lose your job for doing it. If you can't stand up to your boss telling you something immoral, how the hell are you going to stand up to anybody? I guess I get one of the reasons I'm so frustrated all the time is because it just doesn't seem to be that hard to come to these conclusions, to think the way I do. I think logically. I think about things and I go, this just works for everyone. But we don't want to hear that because what works for everyone, they don't want things that work for everyone. They want things to just work for their little club.
There you go.
But you all think you're part of the club, but you're not. You're not part of the club. The club that you're in, you don't even want to be a part of because we're all down here with you. You want to be up there with them. And we've said this before. They don't want you. The promises of riches and lottery winnings or whoever the fuck else, all these things that are always dangled in front of you like a carrot, they're not carrots. They're using the stick on you. You just think it's a carrot.
Well, no, because these people think that it's all a zero-sum game. If you were going to get richer, that means they have to get poorer, and that's definitely something they don't want.
Yeah.
They don't see that we can all do better, that we don't need to have excesses. And I think it all comes down to, again, that kind of mutual respect type thing. You have to respect that the other person also has a right to exist and do things and so on. I mean, look, If you're a Christian, but you think Jesus sometimes sounds a little too woke, you're in the wrong religion. Just, you know, it's just
you
the
know
basic.
what, you know what, you guys sound like you should really be Muslims. Like, you should be following the ones that want to execute people, because, and I don't agree with that religion, those religions, but I mean,
No,
you
and
guys
even
are
that
closer to
has
Muslims than you are Christians.
so much crazy
And
interpretation.
I mean,
Yeah, don't be thinking that you're better than everyone else. We're all in this shit together.
Yeah. And I shouldn't say Muslims like they're bad. I'm talking about any member of any organization that takes things too far.
Sure.
Whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever the fuck, even atheists can, you know, everybody can go too far. But religion has killed more people across this country, across this globe, for more than any disease. More than any disease.
Oh, yeah.
I think about the Black Plague, and I think that's nothing compared to how many people died during the Crusades to find a fucking cup. I got one right here for you. You can have it.
That's not a carpenter's cup. Well, and the other thing is, I mean, you had talked about, are we going to have to have like UN troops here in order to get us into space, get us settled down? I think this is the thing that we're really going to run into is, I think the rest of the world's just going to figure out, well, we can't deal with you then.
Yeah.
Trump is one of those, again, he has inherited this wondrous thing and now is like, this is so awesome. The rest of you should kneel and worship and pay us to be a part of this awesome thing. Well, you know what the rest of the world's going to do? Find some other awesome thing.
Yeah.
They could do free trade amongst themselves and not deal with our tariffs.
Yeah.
Why the hell would they? Why
would
they?
Do?
China's now going to be taking in, Canada's going to be taking in Chinese EV cars. All right. Well, so much for the American auto. That's going to create issues.
Yeah.
Rest of Europe is actually talking about doing, like, what do they call it? A trade bazooka, which is in effect is like full economic warfare. If we keep pushing tariffs on them, they can up the tariffs all on us. They can work with free trades amongst them. They'll boost China up. And all of a sudden, we're going to be sitting here wondering why we ain't invited to the party. We have such a great house, but nobody wants to come over. Well, no, because you threatened to fucking throw everybody in jail if 5 years ago they put a posting that maybe they didn't like Trump, let alone think he's the Nazi fuck that he is. So
it's so, like, the thing about him being a fascist and Nazi is so irrelevant to me almost, that it's such vanity, all vanity.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking true. He learned from his mafia lawyer Roy Cohn how to be a gangster. That's it. Now, I know I like watching The Sopranos too, but in the end, I wanted Tony Soprano to die.
Yeah, he kind of had to.
I wanted everybody on that show to basically die, except for the kids. I was like, you all are fucking worm food in my brain. Like, you don't deserve to breathe the same air. But I think people watch shows like The Sopranos and they go, oh man, that guy, look at how much he gets, the power, and how much he gets, this fat slob who can barely cheats on his wife. All of them cheat on their wives and girlfriends, and this is who we have in the White House. We have we have a guy who, he's like the mentally challenged mafia guy though. Like, he's like, well, we need to find a place to put Ernie over there who keeps drinking his own pee. What do we do with him? Well, we could just make him president. Like,
hell, man, the whole Venezuela thing to me is a whole mob thing. It's basically like, do what we want. No, all right, we're going to take out your boss, go to the next person and say, now you're going to do what we want, or we're going to take you out and find them. And eventually we'll get down the ladder enough that we'll find somebody that will do what we want.
The people that literally, like Ted Cruz, who say manifest death, they're literally rolling manifest destiny back out. this whole
Oh,
country. Like they're embracing genocide. They are embracing the horrible shit that we did to justify doing more horrible shit. Well, we used to do it all the time, but now, we used to do so much with procuring this and procuring that. We had the people wanted it though. We were buying things like, no, that's not even true. Let me back up. Hawaii. They were fine on their own. They had a whole system of things going. Was it more prehistoric than what we have? Yes. They were fine. They fought and they lived and they died for years without us. All these places survive without us. Why do we want those things? We just make up fucking reasons. Oh, well, this is if there's a war, this would be a great place for that. Well, stop planning for war. Plan for peace. Plan for progress. Don't plan.
Well, without the Nobel Peace Prize, he's not interested in peace anymore.
Oh, yeah. Thank God. I am the president of peace. But since you didn't give me a prize for not doing what I'm saying I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Trump himself that bothers me, and I've said this before, the language of the abuser. When somebody fucking tells me a lie and says, right, as if I'm supposed to agree with your lie, it makes me want to jump through the fucking screen and rip his fucking head off and kick it across the fucking room.
Sure.
You think I am oh,
and he does
asking me to swallow shit that ain't true and to assume that I agree with you, because to not agree with you would mean like, oh God, Darrin, if I had 5 minutes to just be like a reporter and just so I could ask him something so he would say, shut up, I would charge the fucking man. They would be like, holy fuck. I'd be on him like white on rice.
Dude, I just want somebody to be like, are you fucking serious? Are you insane? Okay, yeah. So obviously that's a whole lie. So, you can't treat someone with respect who has no respect for you.
Yeah. Oh, well, if I'm not there, if I say something, he'll kick me out and then they can just replace me with somebody else. And then what do we know? Like, we won't know. I won't have the story. And if we don't have the story, then it doesn't matter. And blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Make yourself the story by going in there and telling that asshole to shut the fuck up and stop lying. You will become the story. You want to be popular because you're a reporter covering this crap and you don't want to do nothing? Make yourself super popular. You want to be remembered? Be remembered for calling Trump a jerk off in front of the whole world.
Laugh in his face.
Laugh in his face. Call him a pig. How come all of these reports where he's like, shut up, piggy? Why wasn't the response from that person, no, you shut up, you fucking fat fuck? What do you think they'd remember more? That he called them a piggy or that they stood up for themselves? They'll remember that he stood up for themselves, and they'll call them all kinds of names, and they'll never be allowed to be part of the press corps anymore. But to be honest with you, I'd have way more respect. I'd have more respect for any of you who just stood up and told him right to his fucking fat face what you think of him. Go do any other job. Take any other reporting. Stand up for something. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing, and I have no use for people who stand for nothing.
Trump is the kind of guy that will do anything to show how great he is, including destroying the rest of the world. The guy,
to show how fallible we all are.
The guy was so upset that a black man won the Nobel Peace Prize that obviously he had to prove that he is better. The whole Greenland thing, honestly, I think it's because fucker still wants to get up on Mount Rushmore. If we want to know that everybody who's up on Mount Rushmore all either expanded or preserved the Union. That's why Jefferson is up there, because we had the great expansion there in the Louisiana Purchase. We had Lincoln, who held it all together with the Civil War. We had Roosevelt, who also expanded and held onto things. And so that's what he wants to be there. We've made the U.S. bigger. That's what he wants his goal. That's why he wants to own Greenland, for no other reason, because we would have full access to it if we wanted, for most anything that we want. We want more bases? No problem. What, it can't be defended? We are part of NATO.
NATO should kick us out.
It's yes, but that's what I'm saying is he is so obsessed with this legacy thing like you're talking about, because he knows he's going to freaking die and he wants to try and get his name in the history books or on mountainside, since he's building as many monuments to himself as he possibly can. And he will burn the rest of us down in order to get to that, because he's already doing it in Minneapolis and he's about to do it to freaking Greenland. So he could be the guy on the mountain that will be like immediately exploded afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, we are destroying the ballroom, right? When he's gone,
Yeah.
that's the first thing we fucking do.
There's more. There's a lot of first things. In fact, here's a promise I will make, is that when he's gone, when they need volunteers to help take things down, I will be a volunteer.
Community service, man.
I will go anywhere. I will give me every single book, every single newspaper, magazine, movie, whatever has him in it, and I will painstakingly remove his ass from it. We need to remove him from history. Look, we are not going to get through this by being nice. We are not going to get through this by being fair. We aren't going to get through this until we're willing to do some of the things that they are willing to do. If we're going to just sit there like fucking cows, we deserve to be slaughtered.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to just stand there and just be led into the fucking head chop place, yeah, you deserve to do that.
Because they have no other reason to think that they're just waiting us out until we just give in to the new world order. All these things, once they're gone, are all going to get rolled back. Other countries are going to roll everything back. We have to just spend more and more time. And that's another part of it, I think, is to just keep it so that, oh, well, we would do this now, but now we have to roll all this back. No, fuck you. We just stop and we do the thing. He's gone. Yep. Day 2, healthcare. I don't care. Tax us. Give it to us. Stop. No more. If we don't come out of this and throw them all out as best we can, and we don't actually do something about our fixing our situations and proving to these stupid fuckers that we will drag you kicking and screaming along with us, because right now they think that we're the ones that are going to be dragged along kicking and screaming. Except I don't care about whether we drag you kicking and screaming. I don't care if you are alive. To be honest with you, all of you out there that are MAGA, I don't care if you're alive after this. I don't care if we're dragging your corpses away. I don't. I have no forgiveness in me. I don't care anymore about them.
It's a weird thing when they are, even
though they're victims,
are trying to drag us back into a realm. Yeah, are trying to drag us back into a realm where we are treated worse and respected less. And we're trying to counter them with dragging them into a world where they are treated the same as everybody else.
We could have all just kept on
living.
Get
into this world of mutual respect, you bastards.
Yeah, we could have all just kept on living and just being like, I know some of you are awful. And some of you don't like me either. But that's part of it. We're not going to like each other all the time. We're not going to like everybody. In fact, most people just kind of want to do their own thing.
Great.
What was fine? What was wrong with that? What was wrong with us just kind of being like, we all just tolerate each other? There are pockets of people that we like, but we tolerate the majority of the rest of us. We roll our eyes, we laugh, we talk shit, but it's all just bullcrap. And society rolled along, and we were slowly but surely making progress. I mean, like, again, we talked about that Obama wasn't the guy who championed gay marriage. It happened under his watch, but it felt like just another maneuver more than anything. All these things can just be rolled back all of a sudden, like, oh, well, this is on the table, and this is on the table, and this is on the table, and we could just roll all that back and not give you anything, because a minority of people that just scream the loudest don't like it.
What's even freakier is it's because they got duped by the guy that was picking their pockets, who convinced them that the reason they were in a bad shape was because of those other people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, again, why am I so frustrated? Because it's not just one thing. It is like everything. There are so many facets to this. It's hard to talk intelligently. I have to work. I can't spend my whole time knowing everything and ins and outs of politics that some people do on YouTube. All these people that that's their job. They live, eat, and breathe this. All I have is logic and feelings and what I see around me and what I hear around me. And I value that more than any of what these people out there are pretending that they know. I know I don't know everything, but I know more than you about things. They'll never. Also, like, we need people that if we're not going to get there with the people in charge now, with all of them, Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, whoever the fuck your party is, I don't give a shit. It doesn't, none of them. Politics used to be a calling because it meant service to help people. I just started watching Death by Lightning, telling the story of James Garfield and Chester A. Arthur and the guy who killed James Garfield.
Right.
And it's done. It's a very interesting thing, because most people probably don't even know who James Garfield or Chester A. Arthur is. They're presidents.
Presidents, folks. Yeah, yeah.
The thing that I found most interesting about it is this is like the late 1800s, and they still, over 100 years ago, right? Now 100 and let's see, today 125, like about 130, 140 years ago, they already acted like this. The way that they politicked, the way that they do things is it didn't seem like that different than how things are done now, and how they talk about things and how they make things and who gets what, when, where, why. It is ridiculous that we've been living under this system that has not worked and this is after the Civil War.
Dude, Trump was just saying that, we were at our greatest in 1887, which is right around the time that you're talking about.
Yep.
It's like, no, folks, when your top medical technique is leeches, no, that's not advanced. That's why you know shit about the Bible. Excuse me. When you think that proper execution is crucifixion? Okay, yeah, sure. You guys are at the moral turpitude right now. Just keep that. No, we are so much better now than we were then, or generally as a rule overall, despite the forces of the people that keep trying to drag us back into an era where we thought slavery was okay and women need to stay in the house. No. I mean, I can't, man. Just treat other people with fucking respect. Other people are just trying to live their life, do the best they can, treat the community. And you know something? We're not all here just to slave away at a job for every hour of the day, or the majority of the day, and then the majority of our lives. Supposed to be freaking Jetsons out there right now, and it's starting to feel more like, Triangle Shirt Factory.
No, don't you
History lesson
understand,
for you
Darrin?
guys.
We didn't vote for their guy. They've been disassociated by, and again, another thing I understand, shunning. It's the first time I've been behind shunning in my life. If people in your life, so much of this, again, that's why it's so crazy and so hard for me to like sit here and focus and not be all over the place, because there's just so many things about this. Every aspect of our lives comes down to this. And I think about like how many people out there are doing this just because we don't agree with you. We used to disagree and it was fine. So why the rush now? Because they've been planning this for fucking ever. What feels like forever.
Well, it took them 50 years to roll back abortion, but they fucking did it because they were pushing at it, man.
And they sat there and they took their money, and the Heritage Foundation should be burned to the ground.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Burned to the ground wherever they are.
That I will support. Yeah.
The Heritage Foundation and everybody behind that and all Project 2025, you all are traitors. You are traitors. You deserve what traitors get. That, of anything, I want to see mass incarcerations. And I know that it's wrong to kill people. I do. I don't think people should kill each other for the things that for their opinions. I don't think people should be killing each other, period. Okay? I don't think that someone like even Charlie Kirk deserved to die for talking.
No.
But I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's dead and he got what he had coming. You talk like that, somebody's going to shoot you. Eventually, they're going to try. And they did, and they didn't miss. And unlike the fucking Trump bullshit, it was somebody that actually knew how to do it. Not somebody who didn't plan and just was up there all freaked out and then gets shot by Homeland Security or whoever shot, when the little thing went by his ear. That guy who shot Charlie Kirk went there with a mission, knew how to get it done. And Charlie Kirk paid the price for his shittiness. It happens, folks. Sometimes when you open your mouth and nothing but hate spews out, you get what you put into things. So if all you are is hate and you push the wrong people, guess what? You might get got. And the fact that it even happened blew my mind. I was like, wow, somebody actually did something. I'm supposed to sound like I already did my whole thing where I said nobody should, but I'm glad. I don't care. I watched that video a bunch of times and I didn't feel one bit fucking bad, except for God, those kids, do they even know that the only reason they exist, Charlie Kirk's kids only exist as part of a business plan? You aren't there because those kids aren't there because Charlie and his wife loved each other. They're there because they're part of a plan, a prop, a marriage prop. Now that he's gone, right? What do you do? So now the wife, pretense is gone. This is all about money and power. She didn't care about him. I'm going to assume she cares about her kids, because if I spent 9 months carrying something inside me, I would care. But those kids are going to, that's who I felt bad for, was these kids who exist for no other reason than to be fucking props for a movement.
I mean, that's kind of cynical, but that's cynical.
It is cynical. But when you hear them talk, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's all a grift.
Look, everybody mourns in leather pants.
As a grift. So when you get married and you have kids, you have little kids that were made from a grift. That's
No.
it.
No.
If she loved him, if she actually loved him, the way that look, grief is weird, but it doesn't present as greed.
Oh no, this was the work went very immediately and very big. And look, again, sometimes when you're in mourning, you need leather pants and to put your hand through a vice president's hair. That's just, some people need to do that. I don't get it. But
Every day
I mean, the fact that there's still a Charlie Kirk show is like, what the fuck? I don't know. I wish, I think murder is bad, and yeah, I feel bad for his kids, but I'm glad I don't have to see him on the hellscape that is Twitter. I get to see horrible other things constantly, mostly by either Elon Musk or the federal government, which honestly posts the worst shit, which says something horrible.
I'm of this mind where it's like, I'm good. Like, I'll wake up like anybody else and I'll have things on my mind, but I've been trying not to actively distract myself. I've been falling behind in things I enjoy because I feel like it's not important to enjoy myself as much as I need to just be aware of everything that's going on around me.
Oh yeah.
So that
it can be exhausting.
If something happens, I'm not the last one to know. But at the same time, like, I spend my time just like listening to things that bring me joy, because as soon as I turn it off, all it is that. All it is that. The cacophony of just horribleness.
Yeah. I try to stay on top of things, and honestly, every few days I will just burn myself out, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna go listen to, fucking reboot it in Star Wars lore is what I'm gonna listen to. Or I'm gonna go find, here's an interesting talk about space science. Here's some Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about quantum mechanics. Awesome. Give my brain a break, because otherwise, yeah, just listening to it, not only is it like so many things, but it's like you had said at the beginning, you're hearing the same stuff over and over. It just starts to turn this maelstrom of just like, what new horrible thing has happened? You're just like, look, don't bother me until the next actual big horrible thing happens. I can't have time to deal with these tiny horrible things.
Yeah.
And
let's not forget how much money is being made off of the misery of all of this. Okay. All the monetization in our rage on all sides, people making money hand over fist. And then someone would inevitably say, well, you're just jealous because you're not the one making the money. No. Not every single person here cares about money. And if you saw our sub count, you'd know that we don't do this for money.
Yeah. No monetization here, folks.
Well, then you're just mad because you didn't grow. No. I've also said that it's good that I'm not huge, because if I was huge, then there'd be more of a chance that I'd be a goddamn jerk like everybody else who is on this platform that gets too big for their britches. So just the bombardment I feel on just regular life. We've got regular life happening to us. Mm-hmm. It's not great, but it's never been like the best. But like last year, right? Even during the first few months, I was like, well, I got to go to Chicago and I got to go see some things, and I've done some things, and I went to fucking New York, and all of that I try to hold on to, but it's like,
yeah,
it disappears like it didn't happen, like it happened to somebody else, because everything else is just so much more immediate and important. And I think, well, good. If something happens, you got to do some of these things. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want that to be the last thing. There are so many more things for all of us to do. There are so many places that we can go to together. And we could be there all the time. Every day is a potential day to be great, to do great things. Can you imagine if we woke up tomorrow and for some crazy reason, he's just like, you know what? Healthcare, I'm just going to solve it and we just do it. And he just does it. What if he just did it? Now, it wouldn't change all the horribleness that he did, but it's like, holy crap. But it never is. We never wake up to that better day. We never wake up to, oh my God, they stayed late and solved a problem. No, the only thing that ever happens is I wake up and I hear about the next thing they've caused. There is no trust. And we talk about elections, but at the same time, who are we going to elect? How are we going to make sure that do anything? We need people that want to be there to help. Now, also know that like those kids that go to Hollywood and get off the bus and we're all going to make it. We're all going, because I have a dream and I'm special. The greatest actress or actor or whatever. And I'm going to come to Hollywood. I'm going to take it by storm. Oh God, 2 months later, I'm sucking dick in a fucking parking lot of a fucking, Ralph's.
This is a hard town. Yeah.
So,
it will chew you up and spit you out.
So think of that on the level of like all the people that are just, I'm so special.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Here's the dark, cold truth of it all. For all the hope and things we have is there are more than 900 billionaires in the United States alone. And not fucking one of them is Batman. Not even fucking Bruce Wayne.
And he's a bit of a fascist.
In
some ways. But
very
guess what?
He can be. He was not elected to be to represent or defend people. He's a vigilante.
I'm not going fully on that. I disagree with that Blue Beetle trailer that went, Batman's a fascist.
Yeah, no, he's not. Some people's interpretation of him as a fascist is a thing that people like, but no. And The Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight Returns, that's a very fascistic view of Batman, but that is not the only interpretation and certainly not even the most popular one. But the point is these people are not spending their money to make the world a better place. They're doing the exact opposite. They're fucking the world over in order to make more money for themselves.
Okay. For all of you watching, I'm going to ask him something because we need to end pretty soon here.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up something and I have to press pause. So we'll be right back. It'll be instantaneous for the rest of you, but I want to share something that I think I'm glad I waited till the end to remember that I had because I didn't remember it until just now. So I'm going to bring up something that actually made me feel hopeful. Hang on a second. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any background behind me, nothing to blur, so I can actually show something. I read something. I've been reading something. I've been reading, and just bear with me, folks, because we're going to be talking about comic books for a second at the end of this. But it's worth it. Trust me. DC has made a series of books called The Absolute Universe. And in the Absolute Universe, there are no heroes. The person who made the universe did it this way because they wanted nothing but them, like to feel like them. Apocalypse. They wanted everything in that world to feel down. Nobody's good. Everybody's under the boot heel. The Justice League is all bad guys. Literally. That is this world's Justice League. Lex Luthor, Ra's al Ghul, all the bad guys are the heroes. They're the ones
Okay.
that are saving the world, while people like Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman suddenly show up on the scene with these radical ideas. And none more than absolute Superman. I find Superman pretty boring, even though I get it. I get it. Every single thing about Superman is I'm an alien. I can do all these things, but I don't, because blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to raise this world up and prove, like all these things, and show like the human spirit and like not just American, but being a person and how you can be a good person. Going to that James Gunn movie where you see Superman just trying to be good, just trying to help. And our world rejects his help because people, billionaires in power, tell people that this guy has no right to do any of this. But me, on the other hand, because I'm here, I have the right to do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Superman in this universe is a working class kid. His parents were scientists, but they weren't the right kind of science for Krypton. They had to wear the S, meaning slave, basically. You were a lower class citizen. He didn't grow up as some royal prince. He actually lived on Krypton. He lived with his parents. He lived with Krypto. He saw the injustice and the same things that happened to Krypton, where they wouldn't listen to the people that were telling him about things. It's like always the same, but like slightly different.
Yeah, but that's an interesting little like
as
twist.
As a teenager, he has lived this long with his parents and he saw everything go down. And he gets sent here. And all he sees is corporations running people into the ground. And he spends so much time helping third world country people with things because he sees what's going on in these places. So now we're 15 issues in and they've started a new arc. He's saved Smallville from things. He has shown the world like this kid who's angry, but he wants to help. And he sees how awful everything is, and he just keeps helping, and he sacrifices, and the Kents are dead. And this new story starts after he's beaten Ra's al Ghul, and he's in prison. And it's about how he's trying to, like, he's just on his farm. He's trying to fix the farm up. But at the same time, he always has his ear listening for anything going on in the world. And I'm going to read some of this because I think it's important.
Okay.
Because I wrote it down. I was like, absolute Superman, right? So like he's going around. The very first page, he hears something. And he flies out and he goes to this guy named Mr. Shot, who is the Toy Man. Mr. Shot, the Toy Man, has a giant corporation. And he attacks him. He sets his building on fire. And he says to him, Winslow, Shot, we need to talk. Now I'll show like this guy is surrounded by fire. And there's Superman looking at him from outside of the building, just flying there, floating there, looking at this man who has destroyed all these people's lives. There was a fire at one of your toy factories, the fourth fire in less than 2 years. Last time, 72 workers died, some as young as 12. And you walked away with a fine and a slap on the wrist. Consider this your last slap on the wrist. You became a billionaire off the backs of children working 16-hour shifts, breathing lead and benzene, making toys that sell for more than they're paid in a week. You're going to correct that imbalance, Toy Man, or I will do it for you. What are you? Ask Lazarus Corp what I am. People like you, atop your mountains of wealth, you live your lives so high in the clouds, so far above everyone else, you've always been untouchable. I want you to tell your friends, those days are over. And I love this because they pull out and it's just like the building and him just like floating outside the building like by itself. All right. None of you are untouchable, not to me. And he goes around and he's trying to find all these different things. You know, he's fixing things everywhere. He goes to Ra's al Ghul, who's in prison. And he's spouting out, he's screaming at Superman, "I'll kill you! How dare you lock me in here? I'm a god, blah, blah, blah." And he tells Ra's al Ghul, he's like, "I didn't come to gloat or indulge your threats. I'm here because you're right about one thing, Mr. Al Ghul. This isn't finished between us." And he starts to go off and he's like, "That's, talking about I'm an enemy for your life." And he's like, "On Krypton, the Law Guild gave life or death sentences for almost every crime. Criminals were executed or written off and never seen again. But I'm looking for a reason to hope here. And I'm starting with you. A few hundred years ago, you realized this world was headed towards collapse. You thought you might be the one to save it. But I think you forgot along the way what it was you set out to save. I'm hoping this can help you remember." And he has this little pamphlet. What is that? Prayers, mantras, poems written by children from the slums outside this jail, written for you. You seek to rehabilitate me with the musings of orphans? No, Raz. And he's like, basically, I'll blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah. He keeps coming back, though. And every single time he's, "Rah!" But over time, he keeps showing up and he keeps reading him the prayers over and over again. We don't know how much time has really gone by.
Mm-hmm.
And he's living and he's flying around and he's fixing things during all of this. And he's taking the time to go to his enemy to try to reach him with the prayers of the victims that didn't know they were victims of this guy. They loved him and he treated them and he killed them. So he's reading him the poems of these people to try to reach something, humanity, some kind of humanity in this person, to realize what you've done. And he keeps going and going, and you can see him start to soften. And there's this part that just really got me, and I almost started crying. There's a child in Thailand, body riddled with cancer. No family. She doesn't want to die alone, staring at the ceiling. I make sure she doesn't. He flies over there and he takes this child and he lifts her up and flies her up to the top of the mountains where she can see the sun and the sky and look. And she's pointing and he's holding her. After the child dies in my arms, I spend the next hour alone in the stratosphere, screaming so loud it knocks satellites from orbit. He says to Raz, "We are not dust, we rise from it. We will build the world you refused to imagine." And it shows him screaming to try to drown out the screams. And it's like, how long can I possibly endure this? And at the end, Ra's al Ghul repeats the line from the prayer that he's been hearing for all this time. You buried us in chains, yet we are alive. And finally, Ra's al Ghul repeats the poem back to Superman. Survival is never silent. The cacophony means we're alive. It means we have hope. It's the silence we should fear. That is some shit to read. And people on the right, of course, think Superman's fucking crazy and evil. Because he reached out across to the man who tried to destroy everything. And it shows that that's the way to be. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
It's where we need to go. But we're not going to get there without a lot of pain. But after that, we have to still Because even as I'm ranting and mad and in the moment and everything, I do want to get along. I do want us to all just be able to live again.
Oh, yeah.
The system is rigged against us. And again, they're not going to help us. We don't have Superman to do this. We are the gods. We are the Supermen. And every day, when we see people like him and his ilk doing this stuff, and we know it's wrong, and we do nothing, that's the silence that scares me. That is why I'm scared, because the silence means you're not making moves to change anything to good. You don't want good. You don't want hope. You don't care about anything. And if you think that Superman helping people is wrong, a fictional person, Superman's basically God. A fictional character does more to inspire me than a fake one in the Bible. They're both fake, but one actually has a message that's actually helpful. Jason Aaron wrote that, and I met him this year. And if I get to meet him again, I'm going to make him sign that book, and I'm probably going to hug him.
Oh, no,
Hopefully
that was beautiful.
And I wrote all that. I wrote a bunch of stuff down after I was reading it, and I'll read it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I wrote, and this is from whatever. So some of this is repeating myself a little bit, but they're just pissed. We finally read the fine print and decided, nah, fuck that. Yeah, I know I signed it. I know I agreed to it, but collectively, we aren't doing it anymore, and we need to change the laws that you set up to gouge us and profit and insulate yourselves. So let's take as much as we can now. That's what basically you're doing. Everything is on the line. It's been on the line, all the marbles, and if you're just waking up to it, it doesn't matter anymore. We have to save each other. That's what I wrote. I know it's a little kind of all over the place because when I was writing it, it was about, I was thinking about all the things that we agree to with corporations when we sign things. They give us the thing and it says, do you agree? As if we're all lawyers and we're all looking at you play a video game, right? Or you watch a movie and it gives you this list of like all these things. Like, would you like to continue? And it's like, they have us legally over barrels because of things that we don't read or understand. But at this point, it's time for us to just go, I don't care. I don't care. You're a corporation. You don't run things. We run things. So what we really need to do is just decide, fuck you. No.
Kind of. Yeah.
We all have to collectively just go, fuck off. We're just not doing it. Well, I have it right here. Well, guess what? We're going to change the laws. Because while you guys were making these laws to fuck us, that's what we have to do. We have to just reverse and go, well, I don't care. I don't care what this does for you. You don't matter. You are just another person making a product. We will find more people to make products. There are people all over the world that want to make products. We don't need you. You need us. And this gouging, all this just screams desperation. And again, because if they were really not afraid of us, then why such desperate grabs for everything right now? Because they know that it's limited. And they know that if they can get enough things done, they might stand a chance. But there is no getting out of this without revolution at this point. In some fashion.
Yeah. Well, too much has to change now.
And whatever it looks like, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And maybe it'll never be better. Maybe a whole bunch of people will just leave this country and just separate. Maybe, we should just leave this country to these people, but then we all become refugees. and I don't think the rest of the world as much as we have welcomed people in, there's going to be a lot of people who's be like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck them. This is my home. I ain't leaving. Fuck them.
But
But
like I said,
you're right. The thing is we have to apply to our better angels. And the reality is we all know what the right thing is to do. We all know what the right thing is to do. We as humanity allow hate and prejudice and fear and all of that get in the way of those decisions that we know are the right ones. You know, you want to attack that person, put yourself in their shoes, and all of a sudden try to understand them, and all of a sudden they're not going to be as bad for the most part. I think it is a small percentage of people that are working to rise the rest of us into a frenzy so they can collect more for themselves. And it will be up to us to push back against that. And yeah, in some ways, I think like a general strike. Imagine if everybody just didn't go to work, didn't pay rent, didn't pay their bills.
yeah, what would they do? We would choke the system overnight. They wouldn't even know where to start.
Oh my God, we're all going to have bad credit.
We all
do. Have bad credit, then no one has bad credit, because they do need us more than we need them.
But we do need to find people that I've said this like I've joked. I mean, but like we need like people that honestly probably don't even want the job. We need honest people.
Oh yeah.
And honest people don't want the job because there's nothing in it for them. And that's another problem. It's nothing in it for you. It's not supposed to be about like what's in it for you. It's a calling, like going to the fucking priesthood. It's supposed to be that because it's not supposed to be about you. You benefit from it, but you're not supposed to become a billionaire off of it. You're not supposed to become multi-millionaires because you are a congressperson. That's because what? After your service is done, what would you tell us? Pull yourself up by your fucking bootstraps, congressman or congresswoman or senator. Yeah, get a job like the rest of us.
They shouldn't have more protections. They should have less. The higher you are in power, the less protections that you have, because you have more of a likelihood of abusing that power. And therefore, look, hey, we do have a right to look into your shit and do all this and restrict you from doing stock trades and things like that. Because why the hell do we put these elites in power and then insulate them from the consequences of their actions? We need to do the exact opposite of that. So it's not people trying to gain power that's going on, but people that, like you said, understand this is for service. I come here not for myself, but for my community.
Yeah. But where do you find those people? I mean, I could, you know what I mean? Like, does it mean that we just have to have people that are just literally nobodies?
Kinda.
Try to just get up there and say, look, I am nothing. I am just a guy. We just need guys and girls, people that are from the communities who have basically nothing. And they'll say, well, you don't understand this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, neither do you. You went to all these schools and you somehow still haven't figured out a way to just do what we tell you to do. You went and spent all that money at college to tell us we're being unrealistic. No, you went to college to get rich.
Well, the interesting thing is that most of the people that work in government, the deep state, are those people. You don't make money working for government. Most of those people are doing it because they want to give back, because this is the way that they can impact their community the most. Yeah. And yet we're the ones, this is the administration that goes, well, all those people are trying to screw us over. You mean the ones that are working selflessly just to make this machinery work? That's all projection. Those are the people that we need, but not the ones that have to raise money in order to run, because they're not going to be beholden to the people that vote for them. They're going to be beholden for the people that are giving them the money. Yep. If you need $1 million in order just to run a campaign, that's already filtering to a very specific type of individual. We need to get money out of politics. It needs to be back to service. We need to tax frickin' billionaires. We need to focus on what is good for the community overall and not for a small percentage because their greatness will make us great. No, we make them great.
Yep.
Elon Musk is not a scientific genius. He is great at fundraising and selling ideas. And that's it.
Yeah.
But those are not the main important people we need to make a society work.
Yeah. Well, I think we did it for the most part.
I think we got it all out.
I mean, look, folks, I'm sorry for some of my like just absolute rage and anger and inflammatory speech. But I can't fucking lie. I'm not gonna lie. I spent a lot of my life lying all the time to myself, to everyone. Truth is always better, even if it scares people. That angry where I'm practically frothing at the mouth. It's because I have been pushed to the limit and I don't know how much further I can go. All I'm trying to do is make sense of a world that makes no sense anymore. And all of you out there that are feeling this is normal. Feel it. It's not normal. If you see people like Renee Good get killed in front of you and you think she had it coming, I don't believe in a soul. If I did, you don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's empty inside you. But none of what you're doing is going to fill. At the end of the day, you're going to go to your maker, or you're going to go into the dark, sweet pool of the abyss, and you're never going to know. And that's the fucked up part that really pisses me off, is I wish that there were an afterlife for people to realize there isn't one. Maybe it would make you all think about how important it is, everything we do here now.
Yeah, that should be the focus, not what it's going to be afterwards.
If they want Greenland, I can't wait to see. I mean, I can't, like it's like I want military, like I don't want. I'm gonna start. We got to stop. This is practically more topics where I could just drag this out longer and longer. But
we got to save something for next week.
No, I mean, this isn't saving it. It's just
keep going.
It's just more. It's just more.
Yeah.
All the because it's an endless topic. Like I said, there's so many moving parts and there's so many evil things happening that it's just like, how do you keep up? And then you live your life. Like they talk about. Shut up. Shut up. I have to shut my fucking mouth for all of you that are like, yes, please. We will be back. I also want to recommend that there's Enchantment of Eternity has also started to make content like this. Over on Mark from Enchantment of Eternity, him and his sister Alyssa are talking about the same kind of things. They have a video about what's going on with the Democrats. I highly recommend y'all check it out. Because when you got other people who just want to talk about shows and movies and comics, talking about this, not making any money off of it, maybe you should actually listen to the people who aren't profiting from your rage. Because the people out there that are making money off of this, they don't have answers. All they do is repeat the same things, the same platitudes on both sides. Oh, we're good. But you never hear them offer any real solutions. It's just, I'm repeating what all the horrible things I heard. And sorry, everybody, this is the way it is. Because they can't say anything because everything's tied to money. So they know there's a line. I know there's a line. I'm pretty sure I crossed it today.
But that's because we're out in the outer rim. We can do that.
But I also know that I crossed it And now I have to look at myself and go, I didn't really mean some of that stuff. I'm so angry that that's how it comes out. But for those of you out there that are screaming into the void like us, you're not alone. Or none of us are alone. We're only as alone as we allow them to make us feel. And I take some comfort in that Minneapolis people aren't giving in to that urge that I so feel right now. Because yes, every single thing we do is just so that he can react and do something. It makes no sense to me logically. That's another reason why I'm so angry. Because in any sane society, that motherfucker would be in the deepest, darkest hole a couple of days after his presidency started. If we don't have anybody with the guts to just go, this is not right, and I don't care who elected this motherfucker. Wrong is wrong, and I don't care if we elected it. And we still have to wait for all the other people to catch up. Fuck that. If we let them play catch up, we'll never get to where we need to go. So, just another crazy thing.
Yeah.
And
well, good to get it off our chests. We'll be back with more of this.
Really hard. This started out as a Renee Good video weeks ago now. And now it's amalgamation. But I think about Renee Good every single day. I think about the last few seconds of her life, not realizing that I'm about to be murdered by people who they want to hurt you. We've hired the worst of the worst. And I mean, if they're not real cops, I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. I mean, I know what I want to do. But eventually, that's the thing, maybe that should warm us a little bit. Is eventually we will get to do some of those things. So keep putting your mask up. We'll be pulling them all down pretty soon. And then everybody's going to know everything about you. Good luck. Good luck. If you don't unalive yourself, you're going to end up in prison. So
all secrets come out.
Yep. Eventually. You think you're going to be the one to get away with it? Nobody gets away with anything. We all die in the end. And just depends on how clean of a soul you're going to have before you fall into that endless abyss of nothing. Where none of the things you can get away from existence, but existence won't be done with you. We'll make sure that everybody knows everything about you, even when you're dead. And that'll be your legacy. You're going to be the people that we excised from history, from importance. You're going to be jokes. We are going to eventually laugh at all of you. And we're going to think about how things had to get this bad before we finally woke up and kicked your fucking asses back to the fucking unemployment line, you racist jerk-offs. So, anyway, be good to each other out there. Those of you that can be.
Mm-hmm.
We are thinking about you. We do. These two, me and him, we think about you guys. We really do. We think about everyone. Those people that on Mark's channel, I'm sure they're thinking about people. There are people that are thinking about all of you all the time that hope you all get through this, that we all want to get through this. Fuck all them. We need to build communities together, and we will. This is what we need to do. Hold the line, stay strong, and get ready to fight, because it is going to end in revolution. But that's just the start of something else. We just got to be better. We got to be better. And we've got to make sure that nothing like this is ever allowed to happen again. Electoral college, we're coming for you. Because we can't let psychopaths suddenly get voted into the highest office in the land anymore. So anyway,
right. So thanks everyone for sitting here with us on the Outer Rim. We'll be back next time with some more passionate discussion.
Yeah, but I promise we're gonna talk about important stuff. But we're gonna talk about some we're gonna talk about an entertaining thing, but how important it is to what's happening now.
Yeah.
And exactly. I'd say what it is and what it is, but then who knows when we might be able to make another video. So we got a plan. And then when we come back, we will be talking about something that from pop culture that is very important and accurate and relevant to right now.
So like, subscribe, notification button so you don't miss any of that stuff. He's Rob Stone. I'm Darrin Jakes. We're going to see you guys next time. So long. Take care. Out. And as always, watch out for Nazis.
Yeah. And, here's my contribution to that sentiment.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
To this meeting of the Hub City National Socialist Club.
Oh boy. Nazis.
Yeah, G.I. These are Nazis.
Get ready to die, Nazis.
G.I.?